took on English titles. They discarded the Spanish names, even the African ones that some of them had, and took on English titles. Now, so in this book entitled Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, who was a black scholar, by the way, who did much travel throughout Europe, he discovered many unknown facts about the blacks that ruled Europe for 1,000 years. We want to go to page 65. Read that one line in the middle.
The Negro came first to the Indies from Spain, not from Africa.
You hear what he wrote? The Negroes came first to the Indies from Spain, from Spain, from Spain. Why? Because they ruled Spain. We ruled Europe for almost 1,000 years. Some of you thought, Africa, we was only in Africa. You don't know no history. Just shh, be quiet, listen, and learn.
Now, it's amazing.
That's madness.
This is amazing.
That's some utter bewitching.
So we just left Harvard University. So guess where we're going now? Now we're going to Oxford.
Oxford.
We're going to Oxford University. Let's see what Oxford has to say. The name of this book is entitled The Oxford. That name alone just kills him. The Oxford Illustrated History of Medieval Europe by George Holmes. Well, don't be wiped out by the white picture on the front. This is all a lie. But you have to go inside the book. Let's open up the secret treasures and let's see what they have hidden inside Augsburg, Germany. The Augsburg Cathedral. Let's take a look. And let's see will the real truth come out. These remarkable windows at Augsburg Cathedral date from about 1100 and depict the prophets Daniel, Hosea, and Jonah together with King David. They survive from a cycle of 22 figures portraying the heavenly Jerusalem and remind us that fine windows were not an invention of the French Gothic style. So you're going to learn a couple of things that's letting you know that the original Goths were black.
Right, and we're not white, because right now, you know what they think? That white people invented
right.
These type of windows that they see on churches. It says, no, don't think that.
So let's take a look.
So name them, who are these people?
This right here with the crown, that's King David. This one here on the here. This one right here is Jonah. The second one. This one here is Daniel. And who did they say the other one was? Hosea. Yep. All black people.
On these stained glass windows.
Stained glass windows in Augsburg Cathedral. That's in Germany.
So now, it's interesting because remember J.A. Rogers in the book we just looked at earlier showed coats of arms of Negro families in Germany. That was one of those families. And look, there's more evidence.
This is ridiculous. This is something. But what this goes to show you that your scholars have lied.
Right.
That's what this shows you. Here we come from, we go to Harvard and we see black images. We go to Oxford University and what we find, black images.
Right.
Now we're going into this book entitled The Icon. It's a very heavy book, quite expensive. It says the Byzantine tradition in Europe, Russia, and the Near East through 7 major epochs. We're going to read something out of this book that's going to describe pretty much.
What page are you?
I'm going page 11. Okay. This is in the section entitled The Icons of Constantinople. And this section of the book was put together by Kurt Weitzman. And he writes concerning iconoclasm. This was what the elder was bringing up earlier concerning about iconoclasm, the destruction of imagery. Iconoclasm. Venetian looting in 1204 and the sack by the Turks in 1453 are the main reasons why only very few icons have survived in Constantinople proper.
So it mentioned 1453. That's when the Renaissance began, and they began conquering us and kicking us out of Spain, Portugal, and various other lands.
Exactly. It may seem daring, therefore, to write an entire chapter on the icons of the capital. Yet, the situation is not quite so hopeless as might appear at first glance. Icons existed not only as panel paintings, but also as frescoes and wall mosaics, some of which have emerged from layers of whitewash.
From layers of whitewash.
Some of which have emerged from layers of whitewash to give an undiluted impression of the highest achievement of Constantinopolitan art.
When the so-called white man sicked wild dogs on us, okay? They sicked dogs on us, on our mothers, our sisters, our sons and daughters. And those dogs were vicious to us, okay? Tore us up. Not only that, even before that, think about slavery times. There are movies like the movie Django, which recently came out, where they showed you how the white man sicked dogs on us and they tore us up in slavery. So the Bible's a true book. The Bible is the only true book that identifies who we are in history. Now, let's go back to Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 8 again.
Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Go ahead.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
Right, so the hand of Judah would be in the neck of their enemy, which is in their headquarters, which is land of the north, North America, with Edom. Choking out the lies, choking out all the injustices that this man has done to us. Okay? Read.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Why will our father's children, the father's children are the other 11 tribes, why would they bow down before Judah? Because Judah would bring out the truth in these last days, okay?
So, now we're going to go into this historical book entitled Lost Tribes in the Promised Lands. And the reason why I want to go into this book here is because the last verse that we just read, the bottom line, where it said, thy father's children shall bow down before thee, this particular book deals with that section of the verse. On page 364, in this book entitled Lost Tribes in the Promised Lands, it gives some explanation to what the prophecy is talking about in Genesis 49. It speaks of an Indian tribe, it speaks of an Indian guide who guided this man named Montezinus to meet with who he had said his brothers were, the Israelites. So this Indian guide led Montezinus over to them. So he's going to give some history about these Indians that he was leading Montezinus to. And he says, his ancestors, to their eternal shame, had indeed made war on them and persecuted them. Only the sorcerers of his tribe had perceived that they were a special people and had given warning that they should be left alone. The God of these children of Israel is the true God, they had said, and everything inscribed on their tablets is true. The tablets meaning the Bible. So the so-called Indians had written records of the laws and their customs.
So that's letting us know that the Jesuits explained the history.
Absolutely.
So those were the sorcerers.
Absolutely. That's exactly what he's saying. So he says, and everything inscribed on their tablets is true. At the end of days, they will be lords of all the nations of the earth. One nation will come bringing many things to this land. That's the part of this history that correlates with the biblical scripture. When it says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee, that's what this is talking about. I'm going to read that statement again.
My land, and parted my land. We read a while ago, a few minutes ago, Ezekiel 36 verse 5. It says about Idumea would take the land. Who's Idumea? The so-called white man. That's 1948. Now when it says parted, who else? To part something means you're divided down the middle. Think about the news. Who's fighting about the partition in Israel? Idumea, the so-called white man who says, Ani Yehudi, Ani Yehudi. And who else? The Palestinians, the Arabs. Read on.
And they have cast lots for my people.
To cast lots for God's people means to bid for them. Who bid for the so-called white man that says they're Jew? What historical documents say they were bid for? I know our people was bid for. on the auction slave blocks. That's right. Come on.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
What boy amongst the so-called white man that claims to be Jewish, how are they made into harlots? They would never. What happened with us, though? They made the black boys into what? Breeders. Because slavery was big business. Read.
And sold a girl for wine.
What little white girl who claims to be Jewish was ever sold for wine? Name one. Not near one. But which of us was sold for wine? Our women, our daughters, our nieces were sold for wine. That's historically documented. Read.
That they might drink.
That they might drink, meaning party and commit adultery. Read.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Tyre and Zidon are two great African countries. Read. States.
And all the coast of Palestine.
Who's the Palestine? The Palestinians, the Arabs. Come on.
Will ye render me a recompense?
Will you judge God? Will you give him a payback for him choosing us and not you?
And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
What was the recompense they did to God? They scattered us. They sold a boy as a harlot. They sold a girl for wine. They cast lots for us. Read.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
They robbed us. They robbed us. They robbed us. Come on.
The children also of Judah.
Wait, does it say Africans?
The children also of Judah.
The children also of Judah. Listen, black man, because you are not Afro-American. You are not African-American. You are Judah. Read.
And the children of Jerusalem.
Read the whole verse again.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Who's the Grecians? The white man. So Tyre and Zidon are Africans. And it's mentioned with the whole coast of Palestine, the Arabs have you sold unto the Grecians. What is that talking about? The Atlantic slave trade, okay? Because it was the Africans and the Arabs in conjunction who sold us to the white man. That's historically accurate, historically documented. What are we reading? The Holy Bible. This is your history book, black man. This is the one true book. Believe it. Go ahead.
That ye might remove them far from their border.
Right, they removed us far from our border. Now, I'm going to go into this book here, From Babylon to Timbuktu, written by Rudolph R. Windsor, okay? I want to go to page 133, right here where it says before.
This is in a book entitled From Babylon to Timbuktu. We're going to read from page 133.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support